Here's why RHOP's Karen Huger will only spend 1 year in prison for DUI. Karen Huger might need to get Teresa Giudice on the phone for tips on surviving prison, because that's where the Real Housewives of Potomac star is headed. The Grande Dame was sentenced to 2 years for a DUI stemming from March 2024. However, Karen will only spend 1 year behind bars, with 1 year suspended, meaning she won't have to serve the time in prison unless she commits further crimes. This is an interesting turn of events for the 61-year-old, who recently missed the RHOP reunion filming as news broke she had checked into rehab. The move came after she received backlash from her castmates and viewers for not taking accountability after the accident. However, despite her decision not to speak about the incident, she will have to pay for her dangerous decision to drive while under the influence. RHOP star Karen Huger will serve 1 year behind bars. Karen was patiently waiting to hear her fate following a DUI charge, but it wasn't good news for the RHOP star. After 4 DUIs over the years, this was the final straw for the judge, who sentenced her to 2 years in prison with 1 year suspended. Fox 5 reporter Bob Barnard reported live from the Montgomery County Courthouse in Rockville, Maryland, where Karen's case was tried. The reality TV star was in attendance for her sentencing, but managed to escape cameras by entering the courthouse through a basement entrance. During her sentencing, the judge noted that Karen had 4 offenses over the past 17 years, stating, "What are we waiting for the 5th before we sentence you to jail time?" He also referenced her latest DUI offense, noting that she was filled to the gills with alcohol. Ultimately, he laid down the law, giving the RHOP star more than the 6 months behind bars the state was seeking. Karen was found guilty of multiple charges. Karen racked up multiple charges from the accident and was later acquitted of reckless driving during the December 2024 trial, which lasted 2 days. However, a jury found the mom of 2 guilty of failure to control speed, negligent driving, failure to notify authorities of an address change, and driving under the influence. In January 2025, Karen's manager, Ryan Tresdale, announced that the RHOP star had checked into rehab after her noticeable absence from the Season 9 reunion. Karen made the important decision to enter a private recovery program, he shared. "We stand behind Karen as she embarks on this meaningful journey and are proud of her for taking such a significant step forward in her personal growth." Karen's sentencing was initially set for January 29, but was later delayed to February 26. Reality television thrives on drama, and few stars serve it up as effortlessly as Karen Huger, the self-proclaimed Grande Dame of the Real Housewives of Potomac, RHOP. But this time, the drama isn't unfolding over dinner parties or shady confessionals, it's playing out in a courtroom. After a shocking DUI charge, fans and legal analysts alike are buzzing about Huger's fate. Many are wondering, why is she only facing a year in prison when others have served much longer for similar offenses? Let's break it down. The charges against Karen Huger. Karen Huger's run-in with the law started with what seemed like a routine traffic stop that escalated quickly. According to police reports, that RHOP star was pulled over for erratic driving in the early morning hours, with officers suspecting she was under the influence. Breathalyzer tests confirmed a blood alcohol level over the legal limit, and field sobriety tests reportedly didn't go in her favor. To make matters worse, sources allege that Huger was driving with a suspended license, which added another layer of complications to her case. In many jurisdictions, this kind of charge, particularly for repeat offenders, can result in years behind bars. Yet legal experts suggest that Huger is likely looking at a much lighter sentence. First-time offender status. One major factor working in Huger's favor is that she is reportedly a first-time DUI offender. Courts typically take a more lenient approach with individuals who do not have a history of drunk driving. While repeat offenders can face significant jail time, first-time cases often result in lesser penalties such as fines, probation, community service, or short-term incarceration. If Huger had multiple DUI arrests or any previous criminal record, she could be looking at a much longer sentence. But as a reality star with a mostly clean record, she's in a far better legal position than others who have faced similar charges. State-specific sentencing laws. Another critical element to consider is the state in which Huger was arrested. Different states have different DUI sentencing guidelines. In some areas, a DUI that involves reckless driving or a high blood alcohol concentration, BAC, can result in several years in prison. However, in other states, even an aggravated DUI charge might only lead to a maximum of 1 year behind bars, depending on mitigating factors. Sources indicate that Huger's case is being prosecuted in a jurisdiction where first-time DUI offenses, even with aggravating circumstances, rarely lead to more than a year in jail. If she accepts a plea deal, it's possible that her sentence could be reduced even further, possibly down to house arrest or probation. Celebrity privilege and legal representation. There's no denying that Karen Huger has access to top-tier legal representation, which can significantly impact sentencing. High-profile attorneys are skilled at negotiating plea deals and presenting mitigating circumstances to judges. If Huger's legal team argues that she has taken responsibility for her actions, enrolled in substance abuse counseling, and has no prior offenses, they could convince the court to impose a lighter sentence. Additionally, celebrity status sometimes, though not always, plays a role in the outcome of legal proceedings. Public figures often receive heightened scrutiny, but they also benefit from the ability to hire legal teams that specialize in reducing sentences. If Huger's attorneys can highlight her community service and contributions to society, they may sway the judge towards leniency. Plea bargain possibilities. Many DUI cases don't go to trial because defendants opt to take plea deals. In Huger's case, it's highly likely that her legal team will negotiate a plea that allows her to serve minimal time. Plea bargains often involve reduced sentences in exchange for guilty pleas, saving the court time and resources. If Huger agrees to a deal, she could potentially avoid jail time altogether or serve a significantly reduced sentence, perhaps a few months instead of a full year. Mitigating versus aggravating factors. Every criminal case includes mitigating and aggravating factors that can impact sentencing. In Huger's case, mitigating factors include lack of prior criminal history, potential willingness to attend alcohol education programs, cooperation with law enforcement, charitable work, and positive contributions to the community. On the other hand, aggravating factors include allegations of reckless driving, driving with a suspended license, high BAC level if significantly above the legal limit. If the mitigating factors outweigh the aggravating ones, the judge may be inclined to issue a lighter sentence. The likelihood of serving full time. Even if Huger is sentenced to a year, it's unlikely she will serve the full term. Many non-violent offenders with sentences of 1 year or less are eligible for early release programs, good behavior credits, or alternative sentencing options like house arrest. Additionally, overcrowding in jails often results in early release for first-time offenders, particularly in cases that don't involve injuries or fatalities. Huger may end up serving only a fraction of her sentence before being released under probationary supervision. Public perception and career fallout. Beyond legal consequences, Huger's DUI scandal could impact her career and reputation. As the grande dame of RHOP, she has built a brand on class, elegance, and leadership among the housewives. A jail stint, however short, could tarnish her image and affect her standing on the show. Bravo has historically handled DUI arrests among housewives in different ways. Some stars have bounced back after legal troubles, while others have faced long-term repercussions. Given Huger's popularity, she may be able to leverage this controversy into a redemption storyline, similar to how other housewives have used legal battles to drive compelling TV narratives. Final thoughts. What's next for Karen Huger? While a DUI charge is serious, Karen Huger is unlikely to face long-term imprisonment. Given her first-time offender status, skilled legal team, and state-specific sentencing laws, she may only serve a brief sentence, or avoid jail altogether with a plea deal. The real question now is, how will this affect her public image and RHOP legacy? Will she emerge from this scandal humbled and ready to rebuild, or will the fallout shake the very foundation of her grande dame title? Either way, this legal drama is bound to be a major plot point in the upcoming season of The Real Housewives of Potomac, and fans will be watching closely to see how it all unfolds.